Austin, Texas. For years, bombastic far-right conspiracy theorist Alex Jones ranted to his millions of followers that the 2012 Sandy Hook elementary school shooting was a hoax, that children weren't killed, and that parents were crisis actors in an elaborate ruse to force gun control. Under oath and facing a jury that could hit him with $150 million or more in damages for his false claims, Jones said Wednesday he now realizes that was irresponsible and believes that what happened in the deadliest school shooting in American history was 100% real. Jones' public contrition came on the final day of testimony in a 2-week defamation lawsuit against him and his Austin-based media company, Free Speech Systems, brought by Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis, the parents of 6-year-old Jesse Lewis. "Alex started this fight," Heslin said, "and I'll finish this fight." The parents testified Tuesday about a decade of trauma, inflicted first by the murder of their son and what followed: gunshots fired at a home, online and telephone threats, and harassment on the street by strangers, all fueled by Jones and his conspiracy theory spread to his followers via his website InfoWars. A forensic psychiatrist testified the parents suffer from complex post-traumatic stress disorder inflicted by ongoing trauma, similar to what might be experienced by a soldier at war or a child abuse victim. Courts in Texas and Connecticut have already found Jones liable for defamation for his portrayal of the Sandy Hook massacre as a hoax involving actors aimed at increasing gun control. Now, Heslin and Lewis are asking the jury in Austin for $150 million in compensation for defamation, an intentional infliction of emotional distress. Jones' attorney asked the jury to limit damages to $8, $1 for each of the compensation charges they are considering, and Jones himself said any award over $2 million would sink us. At the end of Jones' testimony, Mark Bankston, an attorney for the family, pulled a crumpled dollar bill out of his pocket, showed it to Jones, and put it down in front of the parents. The day Sandy Hook happened, Alex Jones planted a seed of misinformation that lasted a decade, parents' attorney Kyle Farrar told the jury in closing arguments. And he just watered that seed over and over until it bore fruit, cruelty and money. Eight days of testimony included videos of Jones and InfoWars employees talking about the Sandy Hook conspiracy, and even mocking Heslin's description in a 2017 television interview that he'd held his dead son Jesse's body with a bullet hole through his head. Heslin described that moment with his dead son to the jury. Jones was the only witness to testify in his defense, and he came under withering attack from the plaintiff's attorneys under cross-examination as they reviewed Jones' own video claims about Sandy Hook over the years and accused him of lying and trying to hide evidence, including text messages and emails about Sandy Hook. And shortly after Jones declared "I don't use email," Jones was shown one that came from his address and another one from an InfoWars business officer telling Jones that the company had earned $800,000 gross in selling its products in a single day, which would amount to nearly $300 million in a year. Jones has already tried to protect free speech systems financially. Associated Press writer Paul J. Weber contributed to this report. For more of the AP's coverage of school shootings, https://appnews.com/school shootings.